Nixon was sort of a loose cannon, even when he was the candidate.
Loose cannon president, that sounds insane.
Yeah, a little bit make a fool out of himself.
Can't think of another loose cannon president.
No, who's that guy?
Hey, I'm Chris Reinacher, and welcome to Getting Bombed, the show where I get drunk with smart people and talk about the end of the world. I've gathered some nuclear experts in my friend Geoff's doomsday bunker. Hey, Geoff. As Geoff feeds them drinks,
Cheers.
and I ask them the hard questions. What is a nuclear bomb on the scientific level?
Those are live nuclear weapons.
Mutually assured destruction.
To kill everything.
Oh, it's scary shit. Today, joining me is LAICIE HEELEY, a foreign policy expert and host of the podcast Things That Go Boom. So what you should know about me and what the audience should know too is that I know nothing about nuclear war. The extent of my knowledge is it goes boom, we go bye-bye.
That's the extent of most people's knowledge, right?
Yeah, so I wanted to kind of sit in a more casual circumstance where you're not giving a lecture with a PowerPoint. And what better way to do that than to get drunk? I thought a good starting drink would be an Irish car bomb.
All right.
I believe an Irish car bomb is whiskey, Baileys, and a Guinness.
All right.
We're gonna drop that in and take it down.
Perfect. It's good to have an explainer. I know as much about this as you do about nuclear weapons.
Okay, perfect. Time to get bombed.
All right. Look at you. That was impressive.
Thank you. I did my best. You know, for the first section, I kind of wanted, because I'm such a nuclear noob, I kind of want you to explain to me like I'm 5 some simple things about nuclear weapons.
All right.
So like, how many nuclear weapons do we have?
We have, under the latest treaty, like 1,550 that are actually deployed, and we actually have more than that.
We have over 1,000
more
nuclear
stockpiled. Yeah, over 1,000 that are ready to launch.
But this seems so unnecessary. And we're spending money on this strategy about killing everybody.
And we're spending
tons
of money. It changes every year, but it's somewhere in the realm of like 30 to 40 billion, increasing as we go on. So it gets more over the course of the 30 years.
30 to 40 billion. Like, what could we buy with this? Let's see. Like getting Drake to perform at your house would only cost you $600,000.
Oh.
So 32 million to book Drake in every state, courtesy of the government. We were talking about 32 million. This is 32 billion.
All right.
So this is 1,000 Drakes in 50 states.
It's a lot. Hey, Pentagon should look into that, man.
Yeah. And what would happen if a bomb landed here right now while we were in this bomb shelter? Does that mean anything?
So clearly we are okay. So we built all these bomb shelters all over the place. I think I saw one of those signs. There's like they sort of looked like that yellow sign.
Yeah, this is my friend Geoff's place.
Yeah, he's like an older dude.
He's pretty
prepared.
paranoid. Yeah,
prepared during the Cold War, or
you know, I don't ask too much about his background. He's got a lot of weird things going on about him. I've heard some crazy stories about Richard Nixon, and I want to hear about Nixon in the White House dealing with nuclear war.
Yeah, so the president, it's an important point.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Apropos.
Indeed. Impeachment.
So, tell me about that.
Yeah, so Nixon was dealing with impeachment. He had a little bit of a drinking problem. These recent stories have come out that really detail how bad it was, which is that, you know, Kissinger and his staff, who was the Secretary of State, and his staff generally had to deal with this issue pretty frequently. Nixon was sort of a loose cannon, even when he was the candidate.
Loose cannon president, that sounds insane.
Yeah, a little bit make a fool out of himself.
Can't think of another loose cannon president.
No, who's that guy?
So what was it like when he had the power to launched nuclear weapons and was also a loose cannon.
He had this sort of madman theory, which was he believed that the more he played up his craziness, the more other countries would believe in the whole deterrence thing. They would believe that any moment he might launch a nuclear weapon at them. There are these moments where Nixon had said to his Secretary of State, Kissinger, that he would nuke a country. He would nuke Vietnam, he would nuke North Korea. He said, like, it's fine, like, whatever, that's what I want to do in response to whatever's going on in that country.
They're in the middle of in the Vietnam War right now?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he says, he's like, I'm going to drop a bomb and solve this whole situation.
Oh, what's up,
Wow.
Geoff?
Wow. Hi.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I'm glad you're so prepared for the apocalypse. This is cool. Thanks.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, he's a really, like, keep drinking type guy. Like,
Yeah.
It's
One of
like,
those pushers?
it's fun, it's a little much sometimes, but cheers.
Cheers. These are nice. Yeah, very prepared. At this point in his presidency, Nixon was passing out drunk for evenings on end when there were important presidential decisions to be made. Kissinger was running the place, essentially, at this point.
Henry Kissinger.
And it was like a little bit of a drug dialer, even. Like, he used to call up other countries to, like, ask for things that he wanted.
He you-upped other countries?
Yeah,
Wow.
he was wandering the halls of the White House, talking to the portraits, like telling them about things that
Drunk
he
dialing the portraits.
might want to happen. And yeah, it was a little bit of a concern.
Did
was
the
very
portraits feel...
Portraits were very happy to have
I was like ready to get
interaction.
into it.
And this is the problem, is that, you know, there was a point in the Middle East where the Arab-Israeli conflict came to a head, and Nixon couldn't respond as president. They said, he's loaded, wait until the morning. Literally, they had to get together the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They had to make a decision on whether or not they had to launch a nuclear attack, and they had to do that without the president. So Nixon, actually, when he was drunk, there was even a question of, like, whether he would fall asleep with the nuclear football.
What is a nuclear football?
It's a briefcase. And
Okay.
it's this briefcase that essentially is a member of the military travels with the president at all times. If there's a moment where we need to launch a nuclear attack, the president is ready. He can open the briefcase. He has a set of nuclear codes. He'll put them in, and that initiates a set of commands that sends a nuclear weapon toward the country that we're concerned about. And it's just the president who...
One guy can change it all.
One guy. And that's terrifying all on its own. And his staff, who were not drunk, were like, dude, I think that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
And that is the situation
So
that we live in.
they literally took it away from him.
They actually took the nuclear capability away from him. When he was in the middle of impeachment proceedings, he, in that moment where you see Nixon boarding the plane and he's not going to be president anymore, he no longer had the nuclear ability. They had taken it away
That's
from
why
him.
he was so into peace.
Yeah, because they were so concerned that in his state, in the middle of impeachment proceedings, that he might do something stupid.
Oh, God,
There-
Geoff.
Oh, wow.
We gotta chug these. Geoff
What,
already
more-
has new ones.
More?
Dude, I know.
Look at you. You are a pusher. He's not kidding. Oh. I mean, what else are you going to
He's
do in
a
a bunker?
partier.
It's true. And even today, actually, there was a moment with Trump where a member of the military was photographed carrying the nuclear football, doing like...
Which is a briefcase.
Basically selfies.
These are all...
It was like a selfie situation at Mar-a-Lago where they were like, hey, look, I've got the nuclear football and, you know, I can end the world and it's fine. And
This can blow up the world, blow up my page,
No
like
big
and
deal.
subscribe.
Again, I will say, like, President Trump right now has said, like, why don't we use the nuclear weapons? Why aren't they more usable? He said that on record. So he's in a pretty similar place that Nixon was in terms of, like, just being, like, ideologically pretty okay with nuclear weapons. If you add in where the president is feeling like he needs to do something that distracts from the impeachment proceedings or from anything else that he's doing, it's a little bit of a concern. Like, why wouldn't he use them?
So Trump should start drinking so that other people can make the choice.
Yeah, right. But normally, where your comfort with nuclear weapons lies, where your alcohol level lies, is what determines
or
what
your
you decide
sanity
in that moment. Or
whether we're saying temporary sanity or long-lasting sanity, or sanity informed by social media, as we've talked about.
All of that.
Thank you so much, Lacey, for being here. Sorry, I thought I said Lucy Hale. I was like, oh my God, did I just say it wrong?
No, you said Lacey.
I know, I got it right. I just freaked out.
You did good.
This has been Getting Bombed. Tune in for our continuing episodes where we get fucked up and talk about the end of the world. And make sure Geoff gets you validated for parking on the way out. Yeah.
Good job, Geoff.
To hear my entire conversation with Lacey Heeley, check out the Getting Bombed podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your premium podcasting content. Learn more about what you can do to prevent nuclear war at beyondthebomb.org. Blow this conversation up so we don't all, get blown up.